asked the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam that what are the gardens of Jannah? He said the circles of knowledge, the circles of ilm. So whenever we see the circles of knowledge or we see the gathering of knowledge, we have to benefit from those gathering of knowledge. We have to know that there is one important thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered upon us. And this particular thing is al-ibadah, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone without ascribing partners or associating anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also the other important aspect we have to know is that there is one of the greatest things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden. And this particular thing is ashirk, associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in worship. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in the Holy Quran that the main reason or the main essence I created mankind and the jinn is that they should worship me alone. And upon knowing that the main essence for us to be created on this dunya, it is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, we also have to know that the same way we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by praying our salawat, we perform our wudu, we purify ourselves so that we can perform salah. And then if you are purified, if any impurities occurs on your body or on your place of praying, then your prayer is not accepted. Same applies to al-ibadah. If ibadah is entered with any form of shirk, then that particular ibadah is invalid. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, we are going to talk about 10 invalidators of Islam. Why have we chosen the number 10? This number 10, it has no any significance, though, however, we have just followed the path or the way the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to teach his companions, because it is easier for people to remember. If we are going to talk about something, we are going to teach people about something which is more than 2, then at least we have to mention the number so that people may remember the things you are talking about. And the invalidators of Al-Islam, which we are going to talk about, they come from a treatise which was written by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah. He began his book by saying that i'lam anna nawaqid al-islami 10, that know that indeed the invalidators of Islam are 10. The first invalidator of Islam is ash-shirk, associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his ibadah, be it an idol or be it a person or anything else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should also know that associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one of the most dangerous things mankind can occur in, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't forgive shirk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that innahu man yushrik billahi faqad harrama alayhi al-jannah. Whosoever ascribes partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then entering Jannah is forbidden. So we should be careful that we shouldn't be ascribing partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu narrated a hadith saying that whosoever dies whilst committing shirk, he will not enter Jannah. The second aspect, or the second invalidator of Islam, is putting or having intermediaries between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, such that you depend on these intermediaries other than depending in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or seeking intercession from them. This is also an invalidator of your Islam. The third invalidator of al-Islam is that whosoever does not affirm the kufr of the pagans, then he is considered to be a kafir. Or sometimes even if you try to make their madhab or their way of living to be normal other than Islam, then you are considered to be a kafir. Number 4, the fourth invalidator of Islam is that anyone who believes that the judgment of any other than the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better than anyone who believes that the judgment of any other than the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better than the judgment of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you are considered to be a kafir. Or believing that the guidance of any other than the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better than the guidance of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you are considered to be a kafir by the consensus of the ulamas. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who has affirmed that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives hidayah to each and every person. وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. Indeed, you guide to a straight path. And this type of guidance, it is known as al-hidayatu ad-dalala wal-irshad. The fifth invalidator of Islam is hating anything which was brought by the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even if you are acting upon that thing, then you have to consider yourself a kafir. An example of that, like for example, you hear the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he said that if a fly house drops in someone's drink, then you have to dip it into the drink. Because nowadays with the modern technology and life, we can see that thing to be like, it doesn't make sense. But just hating or doing or mocking, then you have to be considered to be a kafir. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, why is it that these people are considered to be kuffar? ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ كَرِهُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالَهُمْ. It is because they hated that which has been revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cancelled their deeds. The sixth invalidator of al-Islam, it is al-istihza, mocking either the ayat or the ahadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It takes you or it takes someone from the fold of al-Islam. قُلْ أَبِاللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ وَرَسُولِهِ كُنْتُمْ تَسْتَهْزِئُونَ لَا تَعْتَذِرُوا الْيَوْمَ قَدْ كَفَرْتُمْ بَعْدَ إِيمَانِكُمْ. Were you mocking about the ayats, the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself? Do not give any excuse. You are considered to be kuffar. The seventh invalidator of al-Islam is a sihr, sorcery or magic. Any form of magic, it takes you away from the fold of al-Islam. The number eight, the invalidator of Islam is that if a person supports or backs anyone to fight al-Islam, then you are also considered to be a kafir, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is ordering us to stay away from supporting anyone who is going to harm the Muslims. Number 9, the invalidator of Islam is that whenever a person disregards or turns away from the knowledge or the religion of Islam, then they are considered to be a kafir. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذُكِرَ بِآيَةِ رَبِّهِ ثُمَّ أَعْرَضَ عَنْهَا إِنَّا مِنَ الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُنْتَقِمُونَ. Whosoever is reminded with the ayats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then if he stays away from those ayats, then they are considered to be the oppressors, the zalimun. And these oppressors are put in the category of being not Muslims. The last invalidator of Islam is that if a person believes that there are people who are exempted not to follow the Sharia of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, just like Al-Khadir was exempted not to follow the Sharia of Musa alayhi salam, then they are considered to be kuffar. So these invalidators which we have just mentioned, there are no difference amongst them all. Even if a person is just joking or a person is serious, all these invalidators, they take you out of the fold of Islam. Why are we supposed to learn this, or to learn about the invalidators of Islam? We are learning about the invalidators of Islam so that we may stay away from anything that can bring us or that can make us to fall into these. Like the hadith narrated by Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman radiyallahu anhu, where he says that all the companions, they used to ask the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam about good things, and I used to ask the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam about bad things. And what was the reason? He was fearing to fall into bad things. And the wise man said that عرفت الشر لا للشر ولكن للتواقيه ومن لم يعرف الشر يقع فيه. This wise man, he said that I knew about bad things or bad deeds, not that I should fall into these things, but to stay away from these things. And whosoever does not know about evil deeds, then they cannot stay away from the evil deeds. So we have to learn about these invalidators of Islam and stay away from them. Like we say that they are dangerous. They are dangerous because they take you out of the fold of Al-Islam. And we have heard that also you are not going to enter paradise on the day of Al-Qiyamah if you die whilst committing الشرك. هذا وصلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.